The first time I saw the mercenary, he was perched atop the shattered spire of a ruined colony on Andera 9, his shadow stretching across the wasteland like a dark promise. He didn't speak. He didn't move, at least not at first. And yet, the air around him trembled, a warning that had no words. I knew instinctively that death could wear many faces, but none so coldly precise. I had come to Andera 9 looking for profit, a routine salvage run, the kind humans did when they had too much hope and too little sense. The station above us was a skeleton, satellites dangling like broken teeth. Yet the fear I felt wasn't for the collapsing towers or the radiation storms. It was him, the alien mercenary, and what he carried in his eyes, understanding humans. And that was worse than anything else. No one in the outer systems hunted humans. Not seriously. The story said we were fragile, short-lived, emotional. But the truth, I would learn too late, was that humans were unpredictable, dangerous, terrifying in ways no other species could calculate. And he had come to see if that threat was real. "What's he doing here?" whispered my companion, a wiry engineer named Lyra. Her voice shook, though she tried to sound defiant. "This sector is supposed to be abandoned." "I don't know," I said. My fingers tightened around my plasma rifle. "But whatever it is, it's not here for repairs." He moved then, smoothly, as if the laws of gravity and time bent around him. One step, then another, and the desert floor seemed to sigh beneath him. His armor was dark, almost organic, but glimpses of it flickered with energy. Shards of alien tech fused to flesh. His helmet reflected the dying suns above, and I could swear I saw stars swimming inside it. "What do you want from us?" Lyra asked, though it sounded more like a prayer than a question. The mercenary didn't answer. He raised a single hand, and the air shimmered, a wave of pressure like a storm trapped in a cage. I felt in my chest deep, instinctive terror, and yet curiosity. Humans are stubborn that way. We stare into maw death and hope it blinks first. But that was only the beginning. Over the next hours, we followed him, silently, as he cut a path through the wreckage of Andera 9's fallen colonies. Every trap, every ambush, every danger, he saw it before it happened. Not because he was faster or stronger or smarter, but because he expected the impossible. And we humans, we thrived on the impossible. Then we saw it, a shadow moving beneath the sands. Something massive, alien, far larger than any creature native to the system. Its carapace gleamed with metal fused to bone. Its claws gouged the landscape as it hunted, methodical, calculating. And the mercenary, who had already been death incarnate, shifted his attention toward us. "I warn you." His voice cut through the storm, deep and resonant, and translated instantly into a tongue humans could understand. "Never hunt humans. You do not know what you are dealing with." We froze. Lyra gasped. Did he just talk? He nodded once. Then he moved, faster than we could blink, faster than the beast could strike. And when it fell, disintegrated into dust and wind by a single sweep of his weapon, I realized he wasn't just hunting. He was testing us. But what was he testing? The questions came in waves. Why were humans so different? Why did we fight when retreat made sense? Why did we survive storms that would annihilate entire fleets? Every answer he seemed to extract from us with a look, a gesture, a single deadly strike. What I saw next changed everything. By the time we reached the core of the colony, we understood that Andera 9 wasn't a ruin. It was a testing ground, not for humans. At least, not only for humans, but for the galaxy's most dangerous mercenary. And he had been preparing for something bigger. The truth revealed itself in fragments. First, the intercepted communications. Alien syndicates discussing a bounty on humans. Entire systems were plotting against us, thinking us fragile prey. But the mercenary, with his incomprehensible skills and alien sensibilities, wasn't an enemy. He was a guardian, or something like it. "You humans," he said finally, his voice hollow like an empty cathedral. "You are the anomaly. You survive when logic fails. You endure when impossible arrives. And that is why I warn all who would hunt you. You cannot understand what you face. Then came the mid-story twist. A fleet of hunters, alien mercenaries far older and more terrifying than he, descended from orbit. They had crossed light years, carrying weapons designed to erase life itself. And they expected us to be dead, fragile, insignificant. But they hadn't counted on him. The mercenary didn't hesitate. He moved among us, protecting, warning, but never touching more than necessary. His strategy was a dance of shadows and explosions, of impossible physics bent around human unpredictability. I realized, watching him, that he didn't just fight the hunters. He used us. He anticipated our courage, our recklessness, our stubbornness. Every human instinct became a weapon in his hands. Were you? Lyra asked between fire and chaos. Her voice was trembling, and yet sharp with awe. I am what the galaxy sends, he said, eyes glinting beneath the helmet, to test what it cannot understand. But that was only the beginning. By the time the battle ended, the fleet was gone, wrecked across the colony's dying structures. Silence returned, thick and metallic, and the mercenary stood in the center of the destruction. And then he did something none of us expected. He turned to me, not with menace, not with anger, but with the weight of a judgment I could not escape. You, he said, pointing directly at me, will carry the warning. Humans are not prey. Humans are the unknowable, and the galaxy will learn that sooner or later. Make sure it remembers. I wanted to argue. I wanted to ask why he spared us, why he fought for humans we didn't even understand ourselves. But the word stuck in my throat, because I understood. This wasn't mercy. This was acknowledgement, a recognition that humans, for all our flaws and madness, were something the galaxy could never predict, never control, never truly defeat. And then he left, gone in an instant, a streak of impossible speed across the sky. No farewell, no trace, just a promise embedded in the wind. Weeks later, I would tell the story. I would describe the alien mercenary who could have ended us in seconds but didn't, who had destroyed fleets and left us alive, not because we were clever, not because we were strong, but because we were humans. And for the first time, I understood what we really were. The galaxy feared monsters it could see. It feared weapons it could measure. But it would never understand humans, because humans were not predictable. And the mercenary, legendary, fearsome, alien beyond comprehension, had only confirmed it. I still see him sometimes, in the quiet moments before sleep, perched atop some distant ruin, watching, waiting, calculating. And I hear his warning echoing across the stars. I warn you, never hunt humans. And I smile, because he doesn't understand. Hunting humans isn't about killing. It's about surviving. It's about enduring. And no mercenary, no matter how fearsome, no matter how alien, can teach us that lesson. Because humans are the unknowable, and the galaxy has not yet learned that.